Hello nerdies and nerds, and welcome to the inaugural tournament of Spartan Sasuke. Today, 23 Spartans will take on a relentless 4-stage obstacle course forged on Halo 5 Guardians. Each of our competitors have one goal in mind: complete all 4 stages and achieve Kanzen Seha to win $50. All of our Spartans will begin on the first stage, where they'll face 8 obstacles. The first obstacle you see here is the quintuple steps, where they must jump onto each of the 5 steps, and then they'll move on to the barrel climb, where they'll navigate the obstacle using the barrels, and if they use the brown sides, they're disqualified. And then it's the spinning log, where competitors must run across this log that spins around, but be careful, it can sometimes change pattern. And then it's the rapid descent, which is essentially the barrel climb, but backwards. And then they will jump onto that platform and then move on to the dancing stones, where precision is required to jump onto the stones. And then competitors will jump onto this shield, which consists of 4 visible grapplets, which leads into the jump hang. And then competitors will jump over to the warped wall, which needs no explanation whatsoever. And then they'll head into this grab lift, which will take them to the last obstacle, the stairway to heaven. And then they'll climb the stairs and hit the fusion coil, and they'll have 100 seconds to complete the first stage. Will any of our Spartans stand any chance at completing the course? It's now time for the first stage. Kicking it off is Field Scarecrow. He was the first competitor to show up to do a run, so I decided to give him the number 1 slot. And Field's taking his time here on the quintuple steps. Taking a lot of time, actually. He really does not want to screw up here. And I understand, because, being the first competitor can be quite nerve-wracking. I've been in that same situation myself in Smokey Massacre's tournament last week. And he's preparing to dismount onto the platform, and he's completed the quintuple steps, and will be facing the barrel climb. And he's already wasted almost 40 seconds, so he's gonna have to pick up the pace if he wishes to complete within the time limit. And making good work with the barrel climb, analyzing the spinning log, not wasting too much time going into that, and is now about to enter the rapid descent. You can't go too fast, otherwise those barrels will knock you over, but he's through that. And now into the dancing stones, he goes onto the left boulder, looking to transition to the next one. He's lining himself up, and here he goes, but he overshoots it. Our first competitor out on the dancing stones. Well, next up is Saon Sucks. Will he do any better? We'll have 100 seconds to beat 8 obstacles. He's into the quintuple steps, and the timer has started. Jumps to the second. Saon Sucks was the second competitor to sign up, and it's one of the reasons I let him be number 2. And he's through the quintuple steps, and now approaching the barrel climb. He's climbing the barrels with no problems whatsoever, immediately into the spinning log and a rapid descent. He's taking it carefully here, doesn't want to mess up. He's into the dancing stones, and making quick work of this obstacle. Well done, he's the first to get past that. And now the jump hang. He jumps into the shield, consisting of 4 visible grapplets, which takes him to the column net, as I like to call it. And then he's going to jump from the top of the column net and approach the warped wall. And he runs up the warped wall and crouches up with no problem. If he can stick the landing here on the stairway to heaven, he will become our first finisher. And he has stick to the landing. He's approaching the fusion coil, and he must destroy it to stop the timer, and he does. Saon Sucks has become our first finisher and clears with 25 seconds to spare. Amazing run by Saon Sucks. Going back here in the dancing stones, he only uses 3 of the stones. It's probably one of the best dancing stones runs I've ever seen in a while. And This will be the run that all of our remaining competitors will be looking for. And next up, Flame Vortex 03. A very good friend of mine. We usually chat a lot, but however, he hasn't been online for the past 2 weeks. I asked him, like, what was going on. He never really replied, so. The Flame Vortex is through the quintuple steps, not the scissors. And this guy was formerly known as MyMom47 on the Xbox 360 before changing his gamer tag to Flame Vortex 03 for the Xbox One. And he's taking his time before taking on the spinning log, and he's about to enter the rapid descent. He's taking his time and jumps onto the dismount platform and is now about to enter the dancing stones, but comes up short on the first stone. Tough luck. Well, next up is Golden King Wolf 9, and the course is behind you. There you go. And he'll try his luck on Spartan Sasuke. 100 seconds to defeat 8 obstacles. He's on the top of steps. Gets to the top of it, but what just happened? You are a noob. And next up, Lord of Vu. Hopefully he will do better than Golden King. And he's stalling on the first step. This is already going worse. He has wasted about 10 seconds on that first step. That is just utterly depressing. He's picking up the pace now. I'm not even sure if he's aware that there is a time limit. I don't think he is. And he's about to enter barrel climb. He's climbing the barrels and running across the spinning log. And he decides to stall again. Come on, there is a time limit. You need to go, otherwise you will run out of time. Hurry. And he goes too fast on the rapid descent. Well, that's what you get for being a noob. Well, next up, Jordan 20XI. He'll have 100 seconds to beat 8 obstacles. He's into the quintuple steps, heads to the top of the first step before transitioning to the second step. He's taking his time, doing the catwalk technique, as I like to call it. It's infamous on American Ninja Warrior, as much as I dislike that show. And he's looking into the dismount platform, and he's beating the quintuple steps. He's wasted 30 seconds on that obstacle, but no! You can't use the brown sides! You idiot! Did you not hear me earlier? He's disqualified. Well, it's time for our first fast forward. Spidey 94 was next, and he got past the dancing stones. And then he had this failure on the jump hang. Coming up too, he didn't get enough speed. And then Sleepy Time was next. Coming up short on that first stone. And then Happy Monster 756 decides to assassinate Sleepy Time, and then before falling to the dancing stones for his own. And with that, 9 competitors have taken on the first stage so far, but only 1 is cleared. But if anyone has a chance at clearing, it'd be this guy right here, DHG Fireball. DHG Fireball has made it to the 3rd stage on Smokey Massacre's course, so we know he's capable of doing well here. Good pace so far. It's going faster than any of our other competitors so far. It's already into the dancing zones. And start taking it carefully and before entering the jump hang. And perfect jump on that. And he's climbing the calm net. Quick work of that. Oh, has a short misstep, but he's okay. He's now approaching the warped wall. Fireball. At a very quick pace so far. He's en route to becoming our fastest finisher. Will he have the fastest time? Yes. Held clear with just over a minute. And he's 36 seconds left on the clock. Amazing run by DHG Fireball. And we look here, very smooth on the column net, making very quick work of that. DHG Fireball with the fastest time so far. He'll be joining Saon Sucks on the second stage. Next up is YouTuber Marquiz Industry. Marquiz watched one of my videos, and I asked him if he wanted to compete, and he agreed. And here he is, taking on Spartan Sasuke. He's through the quintuple steps, carrying that carbine with him. He's climbing the barrels into the spinning log. A cakewalk for him. It's taking his time here on the rapid descent. Oh, someone jumped past him, and I think that was Lord of Vu. Come on, Lord of Vu, you already had your turn. Let Marquise do his run in peace. And he comes up short on the second step. He tried to go for speed, but it cost him. He probably should have aligned himself before running to that second stone. But next up is Jacob WD 2002. He's on the quintuple steps now. Looking into the fourth step. And now the fifth. Yes. He's about to beat the quintuple steps. And now he'll be facing the barrel climb. Climbing up the barrels with no problem. Into the spitting log. Analyzes the rapid descent, and now he'll run to the dismount platform. And then the dancing zones, which has taken out so many competitors today. Will he become another victim? He jumps to the first zone, but he slaps! Oh, tough luck. Next up, Frosty Death Trap. And he'll have his chance at Spartan Sasuke. 100 seconds to defeat 8 obstacles. Ooh, close call on that second step though. He's attacking the quintuple steps with speed. We haven't seen many competitors do that today. And he's into the barrel climb. Ooh, got close to the brown sides. If he touched it, he would have been disqualified. Oh, but he goes too fast on the rapid descent. Ah, tough luck. Now taking on the course is Who Knows 86. Who Knows 86 is jumping through the quintuple steps, going at a decent pace, and he'll now take on the barrel climb, which is the unfailable obstacle. Really, all you have to do is not touch the brown sides. He's now on the rapid descent and lines himself up. Now for the dancing stones. Lands on the first one, jumping to the second. Nice. Now for the third. Making good work of the dancing stones. Good level of precision, and he's through the dancing stones. And now for the jump hang. He's analyzing the shield, and he overshoots it. Too bad. Next up, AOC Scope-Sighted. I'm just gonna call him AOC Scope-Sighted. This guy forged his own. This guy forged his own ninja course on 805. And he said he was going to host a tournament. So I'll need to ask him when his tournament is beginning, so I can compete in it. This guy recently came out doing qualifying from Smokey Massacre's tournament, and now he's into the barrel climb. He's jumping across the barrels, no slips, but he's okay. Running through the spinning log and the rapid descent, taking his time. He knows he doesn't need to go too fast on that. And now he'll take on the dancing stones. Analyzing the stones, deciding which path he wants to take. And it looks like he'll be jumping to this 5th one here on the right. And now the jump pack. Just analyzing the shield. And here he goes. A bit of lag, but no, we tried to go for the middle column, but it doesn't pay off. It should have been more towards the edges of the shield so that you could go to the columns on the right. But I don't think that was his intention. He tried to go for the middle one, but you won't get enough speed to make that middle one. And now for another fast forward. False Lawyer 86 was next to take on the course. And before falling on the rapid descent, and then Whip Trigger met the same fate as Scope cited. Well, next up is another veteran, Patty Freakin. He's making quick work of the first 2 steps. Now he's starting to take his time. And he's going to dismount from the quintuple steps. Patty Freakin has competed several times on Smokey Massacre's course. He's done very well on that course before. And he'll be taking his time here on the rapid descent. It doesn't seem comfortable here. And now he gets into a comfortable position. Switches to the energy sword to get that dismount. And now the dancing zones. And I got a message from someone. Jordan 28 say, you already competed, so never mind him. Alright, and he's looking to take on the jump hang. He analyzes the shield, and now backs up for his run. And here he goes. Patty's running a bit short on time. He's gonna need to pick up the pace here a little if he wishes to clear. But I think he should be okay if he gets up the warped wall in one attempt. And he tries to jump over the warped wall, but fails to do so. That's what you get for trying to cheat. But he's running short on time. He only has 10 seconds left. The klaxon has sounded. 7, 6, 5. He's landed. And 3, 2, 1. And yes! He clears with just 1 second left on the clock. Oh, and he didn't look too comfortable here on the rapid descent. He didn't have that quick of a pace, but it didn't really matter because he cleared with just 1.12 seconds left on the clock. And looking at the warped wall here, he tries to jump over the warped wall. But if he landed that, he would have been disqualified. And then running up that stairway to heaven, he knew he was running short on time, but he will still be moving on to the second stage. And next up is Snaz, aka Snozberries. Snaz has made it, I believe he's made it to the final stage on Smokey Massacre's course. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he's into barrel climb. Back camera work there. I probably should fire my camera crew for the next tournament. And third person perspective of Snaz as he's making good work of the dancing tunes. Decides to go on that lower one. But he forgets to jump! Snaz is out! Uh-oh! What happened? Let's take a look at the replay here. And he's made very good work here on the dancing tunes. Dismounts from that 4th stone. And then as he's running to the jump hang, he just sort of forgets to jump. Maybe he thought the shield was a little closer to him. Well, it wasn't. And next up is one of the oldest competing competitors in Sasuke competitions on Halo, Double Ump. He has competed since the days of Spartan Warrior. And, well, does he still have it? He's to the rapid descent. Very good pace so far. The Womp has done well on the Xbox One. He's about to dismount from that 9 zones. He analyzes the jump pane. He jumps onto the shield and lands on the calm net. And then jumps but misses the second one! No! Double is out on the jump hang. He gets a very good jump onto that first column, but as he's trying to transition to the second column, he just sort of loses all of his momentum. Well, now it's time for our Spartan Slayer. And the honor goes to the Dancing Stones, wiping out competitor by competitor. And with just 3 competitors left to take on the course, the Dancing Stones could always claim another victim. As we see many competitors coming up on the first or second stones. Tough battle for them. Well, next up is Alpha Puma. Alpha Puma is one of the most experienced competitors here on the Xbox One. And will he be able to do well here on Spartan Sasuke? Alpha Puma is an all-star on Smokey Massacre's course, and will that help him here on Spartan Sasuke? He's on the course now. Alpha Puma making good work of the quintuple steps, no problems at all. And now running into the barrel climb. And a little bit of a struggle, but not too bad. He's looking into the rapid descent, taking his time. And now he'll face the Dancing Stones. And he's onto the first stone. The second, he's taking his time here. Doesn't want to slip up. Go for this 5th one here before heading into the jump hang. Jumps onto the shield and goes for the right column. It's now climbing the column net. Now you have to be careful on that while jumping to the second column, because that third column on above you could knock you over if you're in a certain position. But anyways, Alpha Puma has made it up the warp wall and is entering the stairway to heaven. And he's doing 360s. And he's running up, and he's just showing off now. And he'll be our 4th finisher. Alpha Puma clears with 25 seconds left on the clock. And looking back at the replay, Alpha Puma doing 360s on that graph lift. And walking up and doing the moonwalk while shooting his saw. What a show off. But Alpha Puma did very well nevertheless. He'll be joining Saon Sucks, DHG Fireball, and Patty Fraker on the second stage. Congratulations to you, Alpha Puma. Well, up next is one of the most experienced competitors of Halo jumping. It's the guy on the platform. It's the host of Halo Ninja Warrior, Smokey Massacre. Smokey Massacre is the host of his own show. He's looking into the audience. This is one of the most anticipated runs of this tournament. And Smokey Massacre is a very experienced competitor. Has done very well on Hunter's course, making it all the way to the final stage on that. And here goes Smokey Massacre. One of the most anticipated runs of Spartan Sasuke 1 is now underway. Smokey Massacre is now through the barrel climb, running through the spinning log and a rapid descent. He's into the Dancing Stones. Smokey Massacre. He's currently doing his 17th tournament on Halo 5. This is his final day of that tournament, so I'll need to check up on him, see how that's going. And I was the first competitor to compete on his tournament, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to. And Smokey Massacre is about to clear the first stage. He is climbing the stairway to heaven, and he is cleared with 36 seconds left on the clock. Smokey Massacre, our 5th finisher, and the host of Halo Ninja Warrior, is moving on to the second stage of Spartan Sasuke. And Smokey will be joining Saon Sucks, Alpha Puma, DHG Fireball, and Petrie in the second stage. And with one runner left, will there be a 6th finisher? The celebration going on. Students run. Oh, here. And now at the course is our final competitor. The final competitor to take on the course is Hunter Unit 751, the host of Ninja Warrior of Halo. He's been hosting it since the days of Halo 3 and has competed since Spartan Warrior. He's competed on every single tournament Smokey Massacre hosted and has completed the first stage on every occasion. Will his experience pay off? The final run of the first stage is now underway. Hunter Unit 751 is now on the course, and Fireball is out there watching him, hoping that Hunter does well. Hunter has a very good reputation of clearing the first stage on every single tournament of Smokey Massacres. He has a good reputation, and will he be able to keep that alive here on Spartan Sasuke? Looking very good here on the Calmnet. Makes good work of it. And it's now going to approach the warped wall, which is unfailable, unfortunately. I should probably make it harder for the next tournament. And here goes Hunter Unit 751 on the stairway to heaven. And Hunter Unit has the fastest time on the first stage, 37 seconds to spare. Well done, Hunter Unit. Looking very smooth on the Calmnet and all throughout his run. And this just shows why Hunter Unit is one of the greats. He is an all-star on Smokey's course, and it shows. Hunter Unit 751 will be moving on to the second stage. And there I am with the post-run celebration as Fireball kills Hunter, and he kills me. Well, that concludes the first stage. 23 Spartans tried their luck on the first stage, but afterwards only 6 will be moving on to the second stage. They are Saon Sucks, who cleared with 25 seconds left, DHG Fireball, who cleared with 36 left, Petrie, who cleared with just 1.12 seconds left on the clock, Alpha Puma with 25 seconds left, Smokey Massacre with 36 left, and Hunter Unit 751 with the fastest time with 37 left. And for these 6 Spartans, their journey on Spartan Sasuke has only begun. Welcome to Glacier and the site of the second stage. The first obstacle of the second stage is the spider walk, where competitors must jump across the columns to reach the other side. And then that leads into the infamous salmon ladder, where competitors must climb up 6 runs, with every 2 runs getting thinner and thinner. And that will lead into the coil dodge, where competitors must walk across this small beam without getting knocked over by the fusion coils. Timing is required to get through this. And then it's on to the broken bowl. The reason it's called the broken bowl is because it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Like, it's supposed to run down this red track, but whenever it gets onto the red track, it just sort of stops. So once competitors get it onto the red track, they'll be able to dismount from there. And then it's the gravity road, where they'll run across these covenant grav lifts with no lift, which means competitors' speed will be decreased. And they'll have 90 seconds to complete the first section of obstacles, which leads into the second section of obstacles, untimed. It starts with the rocket bars. Competitors will jump onto the circles and then align themselves to jump onto the next one without getting knocked over by the big rockets. And then they'll jump onto that dismount platform, which leads into the cliffhanger. 3 ledges, all straightforward, just like the original cliffhanger from Sasuke 4. Competitors must use all 3 ledges, otherwise they'll be disqualified. And here's a look on just how thin these ledges really are. And then it leads into the final obstacle of the second stage, the Domino Hill. 20 dominoes, with every 5 dominoes getting farther and farther apart. The blue zone, 4 dominoes apart, which leads into the green zone, 8 dominoes apart. The yellow zone, 12 dominoes apart. And finally the red zone, which with each domino 2 dominoes wide, it's 15 dominoes apart. And then the jump to the final platform, 20 dominoes apart. And the second section, once again, is untimed. If they make it through all this, they'll move on to the third stage. Well, it's time to kick off the second stage. 6 competitors will be taking it on. And first to take on the second stage is Saon Sucks. Saon Sucks was the first competitor to ever clear Spartan Sasuke's first stage, and now he'll be the first to face Spartan Sasuke's second stage. You'll have 90 seconds to complete the first 5 obstacles, starting with the spider walk. And competitors cannot use those black ledges, they can only use the white ones. And he's taking his time here on the spider walk, especially on this last section here. And he completes the spider walk. And now the salmon ladder. He jumps onto the second one, skips the first. Ooh, near slip on the third, but he's making good work of it. And now the coil dodge. He's approaching it. He's analyzing the pattern. Taking his time. But he fails! He didn't time it correctly. Bye-bye. And he falls a long way down. Well, next up, DHG Fireball. Fireball had a very good time on the first stage. Let's see how he does here on the second stage. Making quick work of the spider walk into the salmon ladder. He also just skips the first run. And he'll move on to the coil dodge. And he jumps right into the coil dodge. Well, I never thought of that. And now the broken ball, which gets stuck as soon as it gets onto the track. And he figured out the flaw correctly. And now he's into gravity road, which basically is a very slow run across these grav lifts. Very slow. He beats the first section with 38 seconds left, and now he's into the second section, starting with the rocket bars. And he's making quick work of that. He's heading to the third rocket, and he's about to make the dismount. And he's through, and now for the cliffhanger. 3 ledges, jumps into the first, the second, the third, and he's through. And now for the final obstacle, the Domino Hill. And Fireball jump sideways on the domino hill, taking this time, jumping the dominoes one at a time. You are allowed to skip dominoes, but he's just trying to take it carefully. He's into the yellow zone now, and is now about to approach the red zone, which is 15 dominoes apart each, and then he's making very quick work of that, and is jumping onto the dismount platform, and Fireball becomes our first competitor to clear the second stage. Going back to the broken ball here, making very good work of that, very smooth. And then here on the domino hill, making very quick work of the red section. We should probably make the red sections like one domino like wide. Next up is Petrie, who barely made it out of the first stage alive, clearing with just 1.12 seconds left on the clock. How will he do here on the second stage? He's into this spider walk now. Can he join Fireball in the third stage? He's jumping across each of the columns, and is about to dismount. He's now into the salmon ladder. He's onto the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, and the sixth. He now approaches the coil dodge, but no, Petrie, no! Oh, he just got launched by that first fusion coil. Let's see what happened. He completely mistimed his run. He was trying to go for speed, but it did not pay off. Next up is Alpha Puma. We'll be hoping to join DHG Fireball on stage 3. 90 seconds to beat the first 5 obstacles. So he's into the spider walk. He's nearing the end of the spider walk, jumping onto the dismount platform, into the salmon ladder. And he jumps into the first run. Haven't seen anyone do that yet, but he makes good work of the salmon ladder nevertheless. Power slides to the coil dodge, and he's jumping through it, no problems whatsoever. And now the broken ball. And I think we can all agree that this should be removed in the next tournament. Don't worry, I already designed the courses for the next tournament, and don't worry, the broken ball is not in the second stage of the next tournament. You'll see what it gets replaced by in the next tournament. You'll see, eventually, when I've uploaded. And he clears the first section with 31 seconds left. And now he's into the second section. He's carefully traversing the rocket bars. He's about to transfer to the third rocket. Heads to the right side as someone falls. Ignore him. And Alpha Puma is into the cliffhanger. But there's someone out there watching Puma. But Alpha Puma is on the domino hill. He's carefully traversing each of the dominoes, taking his time. He's now into the green zone, which are 8 dominoes apart. And he's about to enter the yellow zone. He's really taking his time. And now he's into the yellow zone. Epic music. And there's someone else watching in the background. I'm not sure if that's Fireball. Can't quite tell. But anyways, Alpha Puma is about to enter the red zone. He's into the red zone. And jumps to the second set, third set, which will be one domino wide next tournament. And now he's about to dismount onto the platform, and he does it! Alpha Puma is going to the third stage! And everyone's shooting their guns to celebrate. And there's Saon Sucks, who already did his run. And here comes... And there's everyone else celebrating Puma's victory. Well, up next is the host of Halo Ninja Warrior, Smokey Massacre, who teabags. I'm not sure if he teabagged now. Anyways, he's into the spiral walk, making very quick work of that. It's fastest to get through that, and the Simon ladder apparently has a bunch of bullet holes for some reason. I think Smokey Massacre shot it in one of his practice runs. Coils are freaking out a little. I'm not sure why, but Smokey Massacre jumping over each of the fusion coils and it's heading into the broken ball. A bit of lag there, but he's okay. He's now into the gravity road. To the second grav lift, the third, fourth. And Smokey clears the first section with 35 seconds left. And now for the final 3 obstacles, untimed. He's carefully analyzing the rocket bars. He failed this in one of his practice runs, so he doesn't want to fail it again. And Smokey is learning from his mistake in his practice run. And jumping into that last circle and dismounts. And now the cliffhanger. He's on to the first sledge, the second, the third, and Smokey Massacre is one obstacle away from stage 3. Domino here. 20 dominoes, technically it's 25, but he's into the green zone now, taking each domino one at a time, like everyone else so far. He's jumping into the yellow zone, just making this look easy, but I can assure you, this is much harder than it looks. Trust me, it is much more difficult than it looks. And he's into the red zone, taking advantage of it, and he clears! Smokey Massacre, our third finisher, and the host of Halo Ninja Warrior will be our third competitor to advance to the third stage. And Smokey Massacre making very good work. Goes for speed on the red zone, which each domino being 2 dominoes wide. And the final competitor to take on the second stage is Hunter Unit 751. And there's Fireball to wish Hunter good luck. Fireball. All he can do is watch and see if Hunter Unit can complete the second stage, carrying that sniper rifle with him. And here he goes. The final run of the second stage is now underway. Hunter Unit 751 is now on the spider walk. He's taking his time on the columns. Hunter Unit 751 had the fastest time on the first stage, but he seems to be taking his time here on the second stage. He jumps to the second run on the 7 ladder, making good work of that. And now the coin dodge. And he goes for speed. Nicely done. And now the broken ball climbs up to it. But, oh no, the ball's getting away! Oh no, save yourself, Hunter! Oh my god! Oh, what a save by Hunter Unit 751! Oh, if he barely got onto that ball, and he's traversing the gravity road now. Had he missed that ball, he would have been disqualified. But Hunter Unit 751, he had the fastest time on the first stage, but he has the slowest time for the first section of the second stage. That doesn't really matter, as long as you finish with enough time. Hunter Unit 751 is now onto the rocket bars. Moves on to the second rocket. To jump to the next circle, and now for the third rocket, and he goes for speed, and now he'll face the cliffhanger. And he's on to the second one, the third, and now for the final obstacle. Can Hunter Unit 751 become our fourth finisher? He decides to skip dominoes. This is a much different technique than what we've seen with our other competitors, but if it's what he's most comfortable with, then yeah, I'll accept it. Anyways, he's onto the yellow zone, but no! Hunter Unit 751 comes up on the third domino of the yellow zone. Oh, and the host of Ninja Warrior Halo is out. I want to go back to the broken ball here. As the ball's getting away, he barely jumps onto that. It may not look like it, but he did land on that with a bit of lag there. Yes, I'm joining the party for some reason. And he clears the first section, and he celebrates by shooting his sniper rifle, but it was all for naught as he failed the domino hill. And the host of Ninja Warrior of Halo will not be moving on to the third stage. And that will conclude the second stage. Out of the 6 who attempted it, 3 will be moving on. DSG Fireball, Alpha Puma, and Smokey Massacre will all be moving on to the third stage. We all know that these 3 are very good at jumping, but are they good at driving? It is now time to head into the third stage. Welcome to the third stage. The third stage is unique because all 8 obstacles of the third stage must be completed using this single mongoose. There it is, the mongoose that could potentially take a competitor to the final stage. The first obstacle, the naval jump, where competitors will gain speed to jump off that ramp and onto the circle. And that leads into the open turn, where competitors must align themselves to land onto that platform on the other side without falling down below. And then it's the Super Bowl. Literally, competitors will drive down to the Super Bowl and then try to gain enough speed to get out of the Super Bowl. And then that leads into the infamous vehicle ramps from Hunter Unit's course. Competitors will drive along each of the 3 ramps. And this obstacle, very infamous, from Hunter Unit's course. And then the next obstacle, the Tornado Alley, where competitors must align themselves to drive through each of the edges of the blocks. And then that leads into the Heartbreak Hill, which is essentially the warped wall for mongooses. And then competitors will try to gain enough speed to dismount onto that platform, and then it leads into the Devil's Jump, another obstacle from Hunter's course. Competitors must drive down to that black platform and then gain enough speed to make the dismount. This is probably one of the harder obstacles of the third stage in my opinion. If they make it past that, they'll move on to the final obstacle, the final track, aka the Mongoose Slider. Competitors must align themselves to this track and then drive along it while navigating 3 bumps. And then they'll need to align themselves to the second track and then make the landing onto the platform here to make it to the final stage. And there's no time limit for the third stage, so they'll take as much time as they want. Well, here we go, the third stage. 3 competitors. Will any of them have what it takes to make it to the final stage. First to take on the third stage is DHG Fireball. DHG Fireball had the fastest time on the first section of the second stage. And here he goes. On to the third stage. Makes good work of the Knievel jump. Doing a front flip while at it. And now he's aligning himself for the open turn. And honks his horn after being that. And now for the Super Bowl. Enough speed to get out of the Super Bowl. He lands himself. And here he goes. And he makes it. And now the vehicle ramps. The HD Fireball aligns himself to ramp. Gets through the first one. Aligns himself for the second. Gets through the second. Now the third ramp. Through the third ramp, and now he's going to face Tornado Alley. He has to align himself to the edges of each of the tiles, and then drive through it. Not that difficult of an obstacle, you just got to align yourself properly to the edges. Fireball making very good work of this obstacle, and now needs to gain enough speed for Heartbreak Hill. And he's going for it. And he jumps. And he lands it. Well done, my Fireball. And now, the Devil's Jump. And gets down the ramp. And now aligns himself to make the jump. And he makes it. DHG Fireball is now just one obstacle away from reaching the final stage. This is the final track, aka the Mongoose Slider. And Fireball must align himself to the track. And here he goes. He's just one obstacle away from reaching the final stage. He's navigating the first bump. But he's leaning towards the right. Oh no, he's losing it! He's out! No! Fireball! No! He was so close to reaching the final stage. He was just one obstacle short of reaching the final stage. Oh. He had such a good run going, but he's struggled on the final track. He had trouble getting over the first bump. He takes his time to get over that first bump, and he tries to turn himself to the right, but it doesn't pay off. That ended up costing him a shot at the final stage. Tough luck, Fireball. Next up is Alpha Puma, who's already doing his run. Bad work by cameraman. And Fireball wishing Alpha Puma good luck on his run. Alpha Puma is now through the open turn. Now for the Super Bowl. He drives along the side of it, looking to dismount. And he gains enough speed. And now for the vehicle ramps. Puma is made the first jump. And now he's about to take on the second jump. Makes the second, aligns himself for the third, but he backs up too much! Alpha Puma! What was that? No! What just happened? Alpha Puma is out on the vehicle ramps. He backs up too much while for the third ramp. And Puma tried taking his time here on the vehicle ramps. He backs up just enough to gain enough momentum for the second jump. But he tried to do the same for the third ramp, but he backed up way too much. and Alpha Puma goes out on the vehicle ramps. Tough luck to Alpha Puma. He will not be advancing to the final stage. And with that, it will be all up to Smokey Massacre to make it to the final stage. If Smokey Massacre fails, then Tournament 1 will be over. And he's made it through the Knievel jump, and now he's heading into the open turn. He applies himself for that, and he makes it through. And now, the Super Bowl. But he puts out! No! It is over! Tournament 1 of Spartan Sasuke is over! Smokey Massacre goes out on the Super Bowl. As he tries to head into the Super Bowl, he flipped over. And what a terrible luck for Smokey. He looks at his Mongoose in anger. We all know he wanted to do better, but he goes out early on the third stage, going out on the Super Bowl. No one will be advancing to the final stage. And with that, I will conclude the inaugural tournament of Spartan Sasuke. 23 Spartans took on the course. All 23 failed, without a single competitor moving on to the final stage. DSG Fireball came the closest, making it all the way to the final obstacle of the third stage. But now the competitors must regroup for the next tournament, and if you want to compete, all you have to do is send me a message to my gamertag RPG445 on Xbox Live. And I hope to see you then, but for now, so long.